The Bold and the Beautiful. One wedding, one wreck. The Logan sisters' love lives collide in chaos. The Bold and the Beautiful is building toward a monumental climax, pushing to Logan's sisters toward two very different wedding outcomes. With the clock ticking down on the year, it's becoming clear we won't see both weddings. We may not even see one completed. But one couple is closer to sealing the deal than the other. And based on everything that's happened on the September 10th episode, all signs point to Brooke Logan walking down the aisle with Rich Forrester, whether it ends in vows or disaster. It's all happening fast. Driven by the emotional aftershock of nearly losing Brooke in Italy, Rich Forrester is done with waiting, done with delays, and done with doubt. He wants Brooke as his wife now. So when Carter Walton walked into the CEO office at Forrester Creations, he didn't even get a chance to settle in. Rich pounced. Carter's efficient status was now the key to getting Rich what he wanted. No guest list, no formal wear, no planning. Just vows, rings, and a signature. It's not romance, it's desperation. And Rich is leaning all the way in. Brooke, swept up in the intensity of Rich's proposal, didn't put up much resistance. After everything, all the heartbreak, all the betrayal, all the years of on and off drama, the idea of an instant wedding doesn't shock her. It almost feels fitting. Why wait when tomorrow could be too late? And in true Brooke fashion, she's not asking too many questions. She's focused on Rich, on forever, on finally becoming Mrs. Rich Forrester again. But what Rich and Brooke didn't account for was the wild card, Thomas. Right now, Thomas is comforting Taylor, who just broke the news that her engagement to Rich is officially over. She's trying to be strong, insisting she's okay, but Thomas knows better. This is a pattern. Rich swings between Brooke and Taylor like a pendulum, always chasing the moment, never fully standing still. And Thomas has had enough. He warned his father this would happen, that he'd hurt someone again, that the triangle never truly ends, it just shifts. What Thomas doesn't know is that the wedding is already in motion. If he finds out in time and storms into that office, if he walks in right as Rich and Brooke are about to say I do, the fallout could be nuclear. A public outburst, a ruined ceremony, maybe even a physical confrontation. But even if he doesn't make it in time, his eventual discovery will ignite a fire. One that could undo not just the wedding, but the fragile peace the Forresters have been trying to hold on to. Still, for now, Rich and Brooke seem like the most likely couple to wed before the year ends. Their momentum is real, driven by decades of history, unresolved passion, and a shared belief that they're soulmates even if they've hurt each other more than anyone else ever could. But while Rich and Brooke race to the altar, another Logan sister is hesitating hard. Hope Logan is engaged to Carter Walton. On paper, it makes sense. He's stable, loyal, safe, and he loves her without reservation. But Hope, she's not all in. She hasn't been for a while. Her heart is split, her emotions tangled, and most of that confusion centers around one person, Liam Spencer. The storylines may be different in detail, but the parallels between Rich's love triangle and Hope's are impossible to ignore. Rich bounced between Taylor and Brooke. Hope is caught between Carter and Liam. Rich finally chose, at least for now. Hope hasn't. She can't. Carter, watching Rich prepare for a spontaneous wedding, is starting to see the cracks in his own engagement. He can't ignore how different Hope's energy is compared to Brooke's. Brooke lit up at the idea of an immediate wedding. Hope shuts down when Carter even brings up a date. She dodges. She delays. And worse, she deflects back toward Liam. Liam, her ex, her weakness, her unresolved everything. He's not hiding his interest either. He wants her back, and he's playing the long game. And it's working. Hope keeps insisting she's committed to Carter, but her actions scream otherwise. The way she lingers around Liam, the subtle touches, the stolen glances. It's not over. Not by a long shot. Hope may be wearing Carter's ring, but her heart is somewhere else. And it's not just Liam who threatens her relationship with Carter. Enter Daphne. Daphne, who's been circling Carter with a quiet confidence, isn't subtle about her feelings. She wants Carter. And while she respects his engagement for now, it's obvious she's waiting for an opening. One misstep from Hope, and Daphne will be there to catch him. She's patient, calculated, and more importantly, not torn between two men. If Hope keeps drifting toward Liam, Daphne won't have to wait long. The tension is already boiling. Hope and Liam are tiptoeing around something that's barely hidden. Carter sees it. So does Brooke. And it's only a matter of time before something breaks. If Hope walks in on Carter and Daphne in a compromising moment, another kiss, another lapse, it might not be the betrayal it appears to be. It might be exactly what she needs to justify going back to Liam. And if that happens, the fallout will be massive. Because unlike Ridge and Brooke, Carter and Hope don't have a deep, storied past. They're new, unstable. Their connection hasn't been tested by time. It barely survived their first real challenge. And now with both Liam and Daphne in the picture, it's nearly impossible to imagine a wedding between them ever happening. Hope may say the words, may wear the ring, but her heart isn't ready. And she knows it. The path forward looks clearer for Ridge and Brooke. They have momentum, history, a shared desire to stop wasting time. Whether Thomas derails the ceremony or not, they seem destined to go through with it sooner or later. Hope and Carter. They're teetering on the edge. Hope can't stop looking back at Liam. Carter can't keep pretending he doesn't notice. And Daphne is just waiting for her chance. One Logan's sister is moving full speed ahead toward a wedding that's been decades in the making. The other is standing still, staring at a ring that feels more like a shackle than a promise. If things keep moving this way, we won't see both weddings. We might not even see two relationships survive. What we will see is a slow, painful unraveling of trust, of loyalty, of illusion. Hope may love Carter, but she's still in love with Liam. Carter may want to marry Hope, but he can't marry someone who's emotionally elsewhere. And if Ridge and Brooke's wedding does happen, if they stand in that office and say their vows without interference, it will only shine a brighter light on the emptiness of Hope and Carter's engagement. Because in the world of the bold and the beautiful, love isn't just about passion. It's about timing, commitment, and the willingness to choose each other completely. Ridge is choosing Brooke, loudly, boldly, without hesitation. Hope, she's hesitating. And hesitation is the death of love on this show. If the trend holds, the year will end with one Logan's sister walking down the aisle and the other walking away from hers. And when that happens, when the dust settles, don't be surprised if the real wedding to come is not Hope and Carter's at all, but Hope and Liam's reunion. One couple may tie the knot. The other may unravel completely. And in the end, there can only be one wedding and one winner. The bold and the beautiful Luna's leverage Bill's breaking point, and the Spencer family meltdown. Luna Nozawa is alive, and her presence is no longer a quiet return from the dead. She's loud, calculated, and pushing every button she can reach. But the game she's playing now isn't just emotional blackmail, it's nuclear. Her target, Bill Spencer. Her weapon, his son Will. And what was once a family scandal is now shaping into a full-blown war that could tear the Spencer legacy apart from the inside. Will Spencer never expected to see Luna again. The night they shared, intoxicated, impulsive, shrouded in chaos, was supposed to be buried. And when word spread that Luna had vanished, possibly dead, Will was left paralyzed with guilt, confusion, and fear. But now Luna's back. Not only alive, but emboldened. And she's using that night, that secret, and every ounce of leverage she has to corner the one man powerful enough to make or break her future, Bill. Bill Spencer has weathered scandals before. Affairs, betrayals, corporate espionage, he survived them all. But nothing prepared him for this. Luna isn't just asking for protection. She's demanding it. She knows the pressure point, and she's applying it with surgical precision. If Bill doesn't help her, she destroy his son. If he doesn't make the right choice, her definition of right, she blow the whole thing up. But the stakes go beyond just Will. Bill is the center of the Spencer empire. His choices ripple through every division, every relationship, every piece of power the family holds. And now, he's caught between two impossible outcomes: protect Luna and alienate Will. Maybe even lose him entirely, or protect Will and unleash Luna's fury, a fury that could not only expose what happened, but kickstart a revenge campaign with no off switch. And Luna isn't bluffing. She's already made moves that prove she's willing to escalate. Private messages have been leaked. Photos from that night have surfaced in anonymous forums. A short video, nothing explicit, but damning enough, ended up in the inbox of a gossip reporter. The leak was traced back to a burner account. No IP, no location. Just enough to scare Bill into realizing this wasn't an emotional outburst. This was a strategy, a campaign, a plan. And the plan has layers. Luna wants safety. She wants immunity. But she also wants more. She wants to be seen, heard, believed. She wants the narrative in her control, not Spencer PR's. And if that means taking down the Spencer brand to lift her voice, so be it. She's not the scared, confused girl from that party anymore. She's sharper now, angry, empowered, and completely unpredictable. Bill has tried to handle it quietly. Meetings behind closed doors, lawyers, confidentiality agreements. He offered Luna a settlement more than enough to disappear, start over, and forget. But she rejected it. Not even a hesitation. Because this isn't about money. This is about power. And Luna is done letting the Spencers hold all of it. Now Bill's choices are narrowing. If he publicly supports Luna, the consequences are immediate. Will walks, possibly forever. The press spins it as an admission of guilt. Investors start asking questions. Rich Forrester, already looking for any reason to crush Spencer Publications, makes his move. And inside the family, chaos. Wyatt and Liam side with Will. Donna, who has grown closer to Luna through her connection to Brooke, is conflicted. Katie wants to protect Will but isn't willing to ignore Luna's side either. And the whole thing fractures into factions. But if Bill chooses to cut Luna off to shut her down and back his son unconditionally, the retaliation will be swift. Luna already hinted at having a full journal, messages saved, evidence gathered. There's a recording of Will's drunken confession from weeks ago. I didn't know it was her. I thought she was someone else. That alone, in the right hands, is enough to end careers. And Luna knows it. She told Bill as much face to face. Calm, clear, cold. You think this is about what happened that night, but this is about what you'll do now. That's what defines who you are. Not Will. Not me. You. That was the moment Bill realized this wasn't just damage control. This was a test. And he was failing. But Bill Spencer doesn't like losing. And if history is any indication, when cornered, he doesn't fold, he fights. There's talk now of counter leaks, of spinning Luna as unstable, of finding discrepancies in her story, old medical records, witnesses from the party, lawyers digging into her history. Anything to create reasonable doubt, to make the public and will believe this is all a revenge fantasy built on shaky memory and personal bitterness. But playing dirty has risks, big ones, because if Luna feels threatened, she won't just fight back. She burn it all. She's hinted at a broader story, other people involved that night, other secrets, other truths. And if she's telling the truth, then trying to silence her could backfire in ways Bill can't afford. Meanwhile, Will is imploding. He wants his father's support. He needs it. But he also knows he crossed lines that night. The guilt is real. The fear is real. He's starting to spiral erratic decisions, snapping at family, distancing himself from Spencer operations. And as Luna's pressure grows, Will isn't just becoming a liability, he's becoming a danger to himself. Liam sees it. Wyatt sees it. Even Katie is beginning to question whether protecting Will blindly is the right move. And then, the final blow. Luna leaks a single piece of evidence to a private investigator with connections to the press. Not an accusation. Not a scandal headline. Just a document the results of a medical exam conducted 2 days after the party. It doesn't say everything, but it says enough. Freezing. Alcohol levels. A statement made under duress and signed, but timestamped. It's not a smoking gun, but it's a match. And the room is full of gasoline. Bill realizes, too late, that he can't control this. Not completely. The narrative is slipping. The empire is cracking. And Luna isn't going to stop. Unless he finds a third option. There's only one move left that might save him. Save Will and keep the House of Spencer from falling. He needs to make a deal. Not a payment. Not a threat. A partnership, however fragile. He needs to bring Luna inside the circle. Give her a stake in the outcome. A seat at the table. Make her an ally, not an enemy. But can he trust her? That's the question he has to ask as he stares across the conference room, Luna sitting silently at the far end of the table, hands folded, eyes calm, watching him make up his mind. If he makes the wrong move, she ruin him. If he tries to double-cross her, she and the Spencers. But if he pulls her in, if he treats her like more than a threat, he might just buy enough time to keep everything from collapsing. Or he might unleash something even worse. Because once Luna gets inside, she won't stop with one win. She wants justice. She wants vengeance. And she wants it on her terms. This isn't a scandal. This is a war. And it's only just beginning.